everyone for making time to join us today. So what we'll be touching on is basically today is a Smartsheet showcase. I'll be showing you how you can use Smartsheets to help you make your safety management smarter. At any point, let's keep it interactive. At any point, if you have any questions, do jump in. Otherwise, we have a Q&A session at the end, so you can type in your questions in the chat box and then I'll get to them later. All right. So, as we all know, technology has empowered us to do new things in new, novel ways, and it often seems like we're just adding on new layers without actually improving on the old ones. It's not uncommon that routine but crucial functions, as you all will know, like safety management, are deemed to be a cost center, and that's why most of the times safety actually gets the least priority, right? When you talk about digital transformation, everyone wants the new flashy technology, but safety always takes a back seat. But that really should not be the case. The big challenge now for the safety industry is to figure out how to ensure that safety is not being left behind. Because as the company moves forward with technology, so must the safety management. I mean, if you think about it, would you fly on an airplane with a half-blind pilot? Definitely not, right? So to do this, we'll focus on uplifting how we do what we do, driving productive collaboration and aligning communication and a single source of truth to manage safety. So we'll focus on creating a new way to manage your data collection, going directly into digital data capture, shifting your daily safety management activities onto a mobile solution. And we'll also talk about how to drive collaboration with automation, provide you better analytical information at the right time, and request for information before stakeholder meetings. So this will actually help you to spend less time on chasing status updates. And then the last point that we'll touch on is sharing important information better. So I will be showing you a couple of demos today, but the demos take in mind that the demos are going to be very high level tours of each template. It's meant to help you have a comparison of the current processes that teams use with ways of how to enhance their workflow using Smartsheets. And everything that you see today is we're using templates that are already available on Smartsheets, and everything is easily configurable and to specific needs, and you actually don't need any coding experience. So before we begin, I want to share a little bit about our company, CRT, and who we are. So, CRT Insights Technologies. So we specialize in ERP, Enterprise Resources Planning Systems. And we were established in 2006. Our HQ is in Johor with branch offices in Singapore and KL. So we help businesses transform the way they do things and realize their organizational goals. And these are a couple of the solutions and services that we provide. In the industries that we serve, as you can see here, we have construction. We also help businesses in building materials, engineering, manufacturing, life sciences, and distribution. So what is Smartsheet? I'm pretty sure most of you have not heard of it before. So to do a short introduction, I'm just going to show you a short introductory video.
Smartsheet is the platform for dynamic work that intuitively allows your teams and organization to create the workflows and solutions they need to quickly achieve more. It's where you can capture all of your data in one place, view it differently, and set up automation to get things done. To begin, all of the work you do starts in a sheet, a flexible data capture and management location that allows you and your team to collaborate in real time through a single cloud-based experience. Sheets, in turn, are made up of columns and rows. Columns are customizable and track specific data, things like contacts, dates, drop-down lists, checkboxes, symbols, and system data, like created by and modified date. Rows help you group tasks into hierarchies and keep the team organized with attached files and links and conversations documented right where you need them. From a basic grid view in a sheet, you can also flex to Gantt, card, and calendar view. Gantt view is good for looking at tasks and dependencies, Use Card View to clearly visualize and prioritize your work. And Calendar View lets you see all of your tasks over time. You can also share your sheets with team members inside and outside of your organization to collaborate in real time. Some additional features to check out are Forms to capture data easily and accurately and feed it right into your sheet. Automation to set up notifications and reminders to keep work moving. Proofing to review and comment on work in a streamlined approval process. Reporting to track, monitor, and manage key information. Dashboards to share out a customized view across your organization. And easily built no-code apps to fit your team's specific workflows. To get going, you can start from scratch, import work from other sources, or use one of our pre-built templates or template sets that we've set up for you. To learn more, be sure and visit our Help and Learning Center.
And now I really want to jump into, showing you how you can digitalize your data capture, right? That's the first part of what we want to do when you think of going smarter with your safety management. So safety systems have a love-hate relationship with checklists, right? There's checklists for everything. I'm sure you guys do checklists, so many checklists on a daily basis. But when it comes to capturing all the data, and that's where all the checklists become a mountain of paperwork. Even more so of a headache is when you actually need to extract that data for reports or meetings. Then you end up spending more time keying in all the info from your paperwork into a spreadsheet, or even worse, if it's in a Word document, right? Imagine if your document gets lost. So here's a better idea. Just do it digitally one time. So what you can do is, before you actually set up to capture the data that you need, set a reminder and detail down what data you need to be collected. During, you can ensure that all the necessary data is taken down, and you can remove the redundancy so you don't actually have excess paperwork or excess processes that you need to fill in. And then after, that's where you process the data into meaningful and purposeful information. So I'm going to change my screen now to show you what it looks like. Okay. Is everyone able to see my screen? See my phone? Okay, I assume you can see. If you can't, just let me know. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, we were talking about setting reminders, right? So with Smartsheet, what you can do is you can actually set up the system whereby you can send an email reminder to yourself to get things that you need done. So I'm going to show you one example. Let's look at this inspection submissions form. So this is what the email will look like. And on the email, it gives you direct access to the form that you need. So if I click on this, it'll straight away take me into the sheet that I need. So the sheets are easy configurable. Let's just run through this. So inspector name, I'm just going to fill it in really fast. Let's say job number 1227. Medical, yes. First aid stock, yes. For example, let's say emergency numbers were not posted. So if you answered no to any of the above, I'm just going to key in a comment, print, and paste the emergency numbers on the walls. For example, okay? So PPE, yes. Head protection, eye protection, footwear, hearing protection, yes. Any additional notes? I'm not going to add in anything at the moment. And then you can see here, we actually have a file upload field. So you can take photos directly on your phone when you're doing the inspection, or you can choose from the photos that are already on your phone. Okay, but I'm going to just submit it without any files here. And then you can see right here, it shows me, thank you, your response has been added to the Smartsheet. So that is one way of doing the form. I'm going to show you another way to do the form, which is how you can do more stringent control over what kind of data comes in. So another form would look like this. This, you can also set it up this way, where you can have, we talked about reducing redundancy, right? So not every site will have things such as like scaffolding or trenches and excavation. So what you can do is, if you look at the asterisk here, those are the required fields. So required fields ensures that you will not have data loss due to not collecting the information that you need. But at the same time, for let's say if I click on general job information, I click applicable, you will see additional fields will pop up, which are relating to the main category. And then I can also do a second layer, which is if, let's say, I don't have the emergency numbers posted up, then I can add another corrective action. So this will really help you to streamline the information that you receive. Okay. Okay, so where does the information go after we filled it in? So what happens is, well, with Smartsheets, you can actually access the form on mobile. You can also access it on desktop. And then after all the information is keyed in, it actually goes into your sheets. So I'll show you what it looks like, the one that we just filled in earlier. And as you can see here, it automatically captures my inspection date and time and all the information here. So this particular form has been set up whereby if you see anything that has no, which is something that you need to follow up on, it will actually pop up in red. There's several things that you can do from here is, for example, I want to assign someone to follow up on the item, right? So I can, for example, send it over to my colleague and say, please print out the emergency numbers list. And what this is going to do is it's going to attach a comment onto the particular line. So if you see, these are a collection of all the different submissions that we've been doing. So you don't really have like different files for every single inspection that you do. And also from here, I'm able to attach further documents or attachments. So earlier in the attach or the upload field, right, I didn't upload anything. But if let's say I have photos on another phone or I have photos already in my desktop, I can actually just attach it over here. So where does all this information, or what do you do with all this information, right? Collecting information and data is only one part of it. Of course, then later you need to have it viewed in a visual manner, or you need to have some kind of analysis on it where you can present to your management. And that's where you can set up a dashboard to have all your information pulled directly from the sheets and presented to you in a way that is very visually, how do I say, it's simple for you to understand it visually, right? So you can have multi-violations in this chart form, or you can have in a bar chart. You can also put in shortcuts. So if I want to know where this information came from, I can click on here and bring me right back to my sheet. Okay. Another thing that I want to show you is also because, you know, in safety, you have a lot of documents that you need to keep on file or you need for submission. So I'm going to show you an example here. So I have this form that I did for the toolbox briefing, and I also have a template document that I have to keep or at least retain a record of. So what I'll do is, if I come over here, Smartsheets will help you actually generate the documents. So if you're using an Excel, chances are you still need to key in the information into a template, right? Or unless if you're printing it out on Excel itself and you have your template in Excel, then, you know, it tends to shift around a little bit when you print, so you don't have any consistency. But Smartsheets helps you to actually put everything into a proper format. So if I click on generate document, I can either download the document or I can attach it to a row. So I'm going to attach it to a row. Okay. All right, so let me show you what it looks like now. So what it does is it's actually using the template that you already have and filling in the data in the places where you need the data to be in. So you don't have to keep on keying in every single time. All you have to do is just, once you've done the form, just click on generate document and your document already comes out in the template that you need. And you can also attach images as well inside the template. So other processes, because everything is very configurable, so other processes that you can manage this way are your site inspection, your equipment inspection, your preliminary incident reports. You can even do your risk assessments this way as well. So what I've just shown you is how Smartsheets can help you with your before, during, after. How do you set up reminders for easy access? How do you capture your necessary information and data? And how do you assign follow-ups? You can review the data that you've collected, and then you can generate documents later on. So all this will help you to save time and effort by reducing your double work and eliminating the need for paper forms. So you transfer your data into soft copy instead of transferring your data into soft copy manually. So this will help you increase your productivity. And at the same time, yeah. Yes, Ariel?
This application is only installed to Excel, then they go started.
Sorry, Excel?
This application is easily upload in Excel, then get started.
Yeah, it's actually not within Excel itself. So Smartsheet is a platform on itself. It's a SaaS platform. So you don't need Excel at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it integrates with Excel, so let's say if you have something set out on Excel, you can just easily just bring in all the data. Okay. So the next part that I want to talk about is driving collaboration. You know, whatever work that we do now, you're not only on your own, right? So we've discussed how to transition hard copy forms to more productive digital data capture forms and help you minimize data loss and save time. Smartsheet is also a flexible platform. It allows you to create a process for managing and collaborating on any type of work. And when you're working with a largely independent team, it's that much more important to have a single source of truth, right? You have a lot of safety guys on site, you have your project guys. You need to have a single source of truth that everyone can depend on for real-time information. Like for example, if you're using Excel, Excel can have so many different versions. You don't know which one is the latest copy, right? You won't know unless you actually ask, and sometimes you still get varying answers. So think about the time when, you know, you're trying to get approvals for your PPE requisition, or if you're submitting your safety meeting minutes, or on the flip side, if you are waiting for your subcon to send you documents. You spend a lot of time chasing your documents, you spend a lot of time chasing updates, and on top of everything that you already have to do, right? Your own work scope. So try this instead. Create a plan to work and collaborate on any work. You can organize your timelines, your tasks, assignments, your dates, and your status. You can collaborate with automation, so setting reminders based on dates, alerts based on risk, and also recurring update requests. And also you can advocate transparency, so everyone will have only a single source of truth for all the progress and the risk in the project. So I'm gonna show you how now Smartsheets helps you to set up the automation. Let's jump into the desktop. All right, so I'm at the desktop now of my Smartsheet platform. And I'm going to go into let's see, site inspection. Sorry, incident reporting. So I want to show you how easy it is to set up the automation. In Smartsheet, it comes with an inbuilt automation builder where you can create a workflow from scratch, or you can manage the workflows. I'm going to show you one of the workflow that we already have. So incident reports, it's not a daily thing. And it happens when it happens, right? So what you want to do is when you have a new case, it may not already be assigned to a particular person, especially if you have more members in your team. So one automation that we can set is a new case to assign. Let's say if a new case comes in, we want to create an alert that the case has come in and we need to assign it to someone. So what happens is when I create this automation workflow, so when I have rows that are added, that means new entries, and then the assign to is still under needs assignment, which is the default value. I'm going to create an alert and I'm going to send it to a specific person, or I can send it to Microsoft Teams. So you can integrate this with Teams as well, or you can integrate with Slack. Or I can share it with everyone who is already on this sheet. Okay, and that would be mostly your entire safety department, right? And another way that we can do automation is, let's see. Okay, so I already have a case who is assigned to someone, right? So when my case is assigned to anyone, what will happen is I set in a condition that when it's a reportable incident, is checked. That means it is a reportable incident. And where the supervisor review complete is not checked, meaning that it has not yet cleared or this case is not closed, I'm going to have the system send an alert to someone. So who do I want to send it to? Of course, I want to send it to the person that this case has been assigned. But this is only one level. So what else we want to do? So we want to we want to add another condition. Okay, so your first follow-up will come when the case is assigned to you. Your second follow-up will actually come when let me see. Okay, so what I want to do is the date of report is in the last, let's say last 3 days, right? So if you have a new case assigned today, in 3 days time, if you do not have any updates, what the system will do is it's going to trigger and ask you to give a request, give an update. And I will send this to the person who the case is assigned. Okay, and here I can customize my message. So for example, I will send a reminder, case update, and then I'm going to say, please submit your updates for this case. And that's just as easy as it goes. So it's very simple to set up automation. Of course, there are a lot more ways that you can configure it. So what's going to happen is when I go into the form, I'm showing you how to access the form on desktop, but you can easily access this on your mobile as well, like I showed you earlier. So I am going to do an example and show you how it's going to turn out. Okay, so I'm going to do a report, but the little trick here is because we set up the 3 days update request, right? And I want to show you how it looks like. So I'm going to backdate this 3 days. Report by me. I'm going to put in my phone number here. Date of incident, let's say it's on the same day. And what kind of incident? I am going to put, let's say it's a slip trip fault. So I can set up locations. I can also leave location blank. So every time you fill in the form, you just have to fill in the information as well. But if you only have a few sites, you can go ahead and put it in as a drop down. Let's see, we'll do this worker. slipped on wet plastic sheet. With a GP for assessment. Okay, and yeah, so we'll key in all the required information. This is phone number. I'm just going to key in really quickly. Police report filed, no. If it is yes, then I will have additional fields that I need to fill in. But I'm just going to do no. And then again, I have the file attachment field, so I'm just going to submit this. So when I come back to my form here, if I do a refresh, because we've just had new information added in, what you're going to see is actually the back, on the back end, it's set up to show that if a new case comes in, it's going to show up as needs assignment because it hasn't been assigned to any supervisor or any investigator per se yet. And I'm going to just drag and drop this over here because I know this has been configured to show me that, you know, site 150 is under Department B, and I'm going to assign this to someone. So let's say this is my investigator that I'm assigning to. And because under the Singapore MOM, if there's any light, I think light work given, if correct me if I'm wrong, but light work given or light work activities, MC and etc., it is reportable. So I'm going to click reportable. And then from here, I'm going to save this. So what the system, this is what the system admin does, right? If you need to assign cases, you assign cases. And then what the system will do is because you already have the automation set up, it's going to trigger out emails. So I'm going to the email address of the assigned person, the assigned investigator. And this is what happens. So immediately I get one update. It shows me that I have a new case assigned to me. And then I can click here directly to go into the form, and it will show me the details like, okay, automatically the system will show any changes to the forms in yellow. And it will show me that it's assigned to me, etc., etc. I have all the details of it, and then I can start doing my investigation. And earlier, we also did the case update. So that's why we actually backtrack the report 3 days, right? Just to show you how it triggers a reminder. So what happens when we trigger a reminder is different from the alert because Smartsheets will automatically give you an update form instead of just your normal form. So it will show you, okay, hey, it's been 3 days, you haven't updated anything, please give me a status update. And then all I have to do is just click on the update form. And it will take me to an auto-generated update. And I can, so example, I've already done my review, and I'm going to put my review day as today. And I'll fill in all the other information that I need, click submit update, and done. So when I go back to the system admin, if I look into this, you'll see this one is highlighted blue. So because this update just came in. So it's very seamless because from one person to another person, you know, from the system admin to the investigator, the case investigator, or when a new case comes in, it just flows through the same process. You don't actually need to have different versions of the form, and all the data is still captured in the same place. With the automation, you're able to track tasks, to assign your work, to track your dates and status. And really the goal of it is to create a single source of truth. So your team can spend more time on achieving results, like, you know, you have KPIs, say, reduce the percentage of injuries on site and etc. So you can really focus on that without actually, you know, chasing for paperwork or chasing for updates. And this really gives you the power of real-time updates, automated reminders. You can even set up at-risk alerts. And you really have more cohesive data and updates throughout your team. So the last part that I want to touch on is sharing important information. You know, a lot of times safety, you're not really an isolated department because what you do is really woven into the entire operation, right? So you have your safety manuals, you have your best work practices that you need to share with other people. It's not just only for the safety department. So that becomes a very important factor as well. So Smartsheet is not just only for things that you need to do. It can also be a shared space for all your vital information, manuals, and documents accessible to all the people who need it. Because in safety, there are so many CPs, you have your safe work practices, you have so many different guides and manuals for different activities and events on site. There's no way for any one person to actually remember all of them, right? And having them on paper files in hard copy at site is not always the most practical thing to do. So what do you do when you need it and you're on site? You can't simply just run to the site office and spend, 1 hour searching through all the documents to find it, right? So a better way of doing it, or how you can share the information in a smarter way, is to get a platform where you can actually upload all of that data online, or in a way that people can access it from wherever they are. Okay, so this is what you want to look up for. You want to have a platform that allows you to have a one-stop shop, to have all your knowledge in one centralized location. A platform that allows you to share the access with whoever needs it, of course, with necessary security controls, right? You don't want to share it with your competitors, but with the necessary security controls. And you also want a platform that allows you to refer to the information while you are on-site or off-site, anytime or any day, regardless if your site office is closed or not and works are still going on. So to show you how that can be achieved, I know I've been talking a little bit, I've been talking quite a lot, probably bored of my voice now. So I'm going to show you a video. So this video is from the Smartsheet Engage forum. And on the panelist that you're going to hear from is Paul Andrews. He's the district controller of Kiewit Bridge and Marine, which is in the heavy construction industry that operates in US and Canada. So let's take a look at how Kiewit uses the Smartsheets to share safety information.
So I'm going to talk about just a couple cases here, and certainly could talk for much longer than this on other ways that we were using it. And I'm also only talking on a couple examples that are close to myself. So, but I want to talk through two of the problems that we had. One was on our safety reference manual. So like I said, we're a large construction company. We've got projects all over North America in all different shapes and sizes. And our number one priority is to keep our people safe. And so the way that we had been operating in my group was we had binders full of paper, full of manuals on how to be safe and how to reference if you needed help, things like that, best practices and standards. And it just wasn't giving us real-time updates. It wasn't immediate access to the people that really needed it, the folks that are out in the field, actually out with their boots on building work. And so we were chasing a solution. So the first here, called it Safety Program in Your Pocket. So what this was is we wanted to get this out to everyone that's out in the field, right? So we're out, you're on the construction project, you are out there busy working, and something comes up, you need to use a new tool, you're not sure how to use it. Rather than having to spend the time, the inefficient time, to go back into the office, to go ask a superintendent to bring that out to you, here what we've done is we've gone and we put that right in their pocket. And we really drove to this solution because we use SharePoint to store all of our data, and that's a great tool, but we didn't have a way to get past the security of not being on the Kiewit network. So when you're out on the field, in the field and away from our network, or if you are someone that doesn't have access to that, like one of our craft workers, you don't have access, an easy solution to get to this safety reference manual. So what we did was we built this, basically it was PDFs that we broke down and we built it into the sheet here, and we gave instructions to everybody so they have a link. It looks like a desktop icon right on their phone, and they don't have to go into Smartsheet and find it. It's just the little app. They click on it and this pops up. So a really good example here, section 1.5 on hand protection. A few months ago, we just decided to change and standardize our gloves. We had multiple different kinds that we want people to use, and rather than sending an email out or hoping word of mouth got out there or handing pieces of paper out, we went and we updated this, and then we told everyone about it. So if they had any question, all they had to do was pull out their phone and they could look at it. Very simple, easy solution, but it's also very intuitive for our folks that are used to using their iPads for our time cards and for our work planning and all of that. And so it, again, kept them out there building.
So with Smartsheet being a SaaS platform, you can access all this information whenever you need it and wherever you are. So real-time updates, you can get version history auto-tracked activities, changes, or you can set in automation. So there's no confusion if, say, you have a safety manual that is version 1 or version 1.1, or it goes to 1.1.2.1 and etc. So you'll always have the latest copy and the latest version with you. So in summary, and really we've just barely scratched the surface, but today we focused on a couple of ways that you can help make your safety management smarter. We've talked about digitalizing your data capture, making it more efficient and accurate. So by using Smartsheets and forms and required fields with the logic controls, you can minimize paperwork, hard copy, and eliminate double work, saving you time. And it'll also help you to reduce the possibility of your data lost from human error, like when you misplace a document and etc. And plus it's eco-friendlier too, right? So you're using less paper. So we also talked about improving collaboration between different parties, and you can do so by having a system that allows you to configure different types of automation schedules, whether you want to send regular reminders or at-risk alerts or time-sensitive notifications. It's really like having a virtual PA, personal assistant, who helps you get things done for you without your input and your constant attention. And this is great for following up on items like post-safety meeting actions and activities that you need to do later after it. For further investigations, for approvals, or even just to remind yourself of things that you need to do on a regular basis, like we did with the email and the inspection form earlier. And we also talked about sharing and accessing information from any time, at any time from anywhere. And the best way to do this is to create a centralized library, a cache, or a storage for all your knowledge that is accessible from anywhere at any time. So with Smartsheet on SaaS, you can share updates and new documents in real time and always have the latest version. And you'll have access to all this information, or your team will have access to all this information wherever they need it and wherever they are. So with everything else, seeing is believing, but it's always better to see it for yourself, right? So we have a free 30 days free trial with no strings attached and no credit card needed. All you have to do is scan this QR code, or you can key in this URL, and what it will take you to is a page for you to fill in your information, and then you'll get the free trial for 30 days. The templates in Smartsheets are all available, even on the free trial version. So you can go in, you can set it up very quickly. Just download all the pre-built templates, or you can also experiment with building your own sheets from scratch as well. Thank you so much for all your time. Thank you for spending this 1 hour with us to go through the Smartsheet showcase. So stay safe, everyone.